Beautiful women wonder why men don't approach them. People, what up? What's good, man? It's your boy TwoCentz. We back. You know what I'm saying? It's been about 10 days since the last video, y'all. Let's get back into it, man. But we got a video from Akai Daily. Interesting topic that we gonna check out. Before we start, man, I feel like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how he gonna break it down, but it's probably a number of different, you know what I'm saying, reasons why. First of all, I feel like a lot of guys are so afraid of being rejected nowadays. Obviously, man, you do some research, right? You find out the testosterone level is lower, so dudes ain't attracted as they used to be to women. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. I guess, you know what I'm saying, you see a lot of these videos on social media of women calling men creeps and that sort of thing. That might also contribute to it. I don't think that's the main reason. I think dudes are just scared, bro. You know what I'm saying? But all of those could be the case. But let's see what Akai, how you gonna break it down, right?
There's a really interesting trend at the moment of very attractive women complaining that men are no longer approaching them. And I find this absolutely fascinating. So, when I was a young man, I only plucked up the courage to actually just walk up to a random woman on the street once because she was really attractive and say, "Hey, would you like to go out?" She turned me down, right? Every other time I've got girlfriends or women who have been interested in me, they've basically come to me and sort of signaled to me that they're interested.
Right.
And so, frankly, I've never been the sort of like, walk up to a girl and just start chatting her up type. But that most of the time women will signal when they are interested in you, and you just, if you're interested back, you can pick it up and go from there. But I think that there is...
That's facts. And you know what? I also want to bring this up, you know what I'm saying? Because we grew, at least, you know what I'm saying, my generation, Gen Z, we grew up in an age where, you don't even got to approach no more, right? It's everything, you could just DM her on, Snapchat, whatever you use, right? And that's, that like lowers the stakes. You get what I mean? So, right, that's also why the physical approach is not happening, right? You could swipe on Tinder or, right, message somebody on social media, so there's that too.
At least a certain kind of woman who enjoys the attention, right? Who likes to know that actually she is an attractive woman and she's flattered by men making the effort and, well, as this woman says, catcalling her. Let's listen.
Tell me why every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever! Oh my god, please. I'll take a fucking construction worker catcall at this point.
I'm weak. That's another thing we could get into. We're not gonna get into it today, but you know how everybody be like, I don't dress, or a lot of women online be like, I don't dress for men, I just dress for myself, for my girls. Man, we ain't gotta lie, you know what I'm saying? You're right, everybody wants attention, bro. It's cool, just be honest about it. Anyway, that's not what it's about. Let's get into it.
So, now there are many people who are saying, well, and this is another video of the woman in the orange dress here. Again, very attractive women, and men are just not approaching them. And they're becoming frustrated by it. And as Con here points out, many women, not all of them, spent the majority of the 2010s bitching about rape culture and misogyny and catcalling and Me Too, and now mad that young men aren't comfortable approaching them.
I understand this, but you know what I'm saying? I think this is cope, bro. I think there's probably a select number of dudes that are genuinely afraid of, you know what I mean, getting reported or being, right, outed as a creep or whatever it may be. But I think on a grand scale, this is not the main mindset dudes have, right? Like this is cope, bro. You're scared, for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
You create the problem. I don't think it's just young men, although I think the age thing is an interesting question. Because I mean, this woman looks like she's in her early 20s, and well, do men in their early 20s actually spend a lot of time dating anyway? It seems that a lot of Gen Z are quite shy, introverted, not great at approaching one another, and I mean, not entirely their fault. Probably probably a lot due to social media and the internet and the fact that they've got phones,
Right.
so they don't have to.
And obviously, I can't, you know what I'm saying? He talking about my generation. I can't speak for everybody, right? I'm only me. I only know who I know. But I think I don't, right, like a lot of my friends are in relationships. I'm in a relationship, man. Even those that aren't, you know what I'm saying, they still be hollering and right, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing and sleeping around and messing around, man. So I don't know if there's like a lesser number of dudes trying to get at girls nowadays than there was back then. It's just it looks different, right?
Actually go up and personally involve themselves. And they seem to have been losing the customs on how to show someone that they're interested that isn't embarrassing or humiliating in some way, and that protects the dignity of both people involved. And I don't blame them. I mean, these are things that I think generally haven't been well passed down.
But even if it has been well passed down or not, like it's just like the dating landscape is just different, bruh. Like you know what I'm saying, your idea of having good game or whatever, like it changes. It was different 2 years ago than it was today. It's different, right, when a card grew up, right? It's different depending on where, you know what I'm saying, you raised or where you live, right? Like, so I don't even think it's about the previous generation's failure to pass down good game or whatever. It's just like time changed, bro. Things change.
I remember my dad telling me you've got to go and ask. And the worst she can say
I mean,
is,
that's still, you know what I'm saying? That's still right. Like, just go ask a girl out and be direct. Like that's always, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's always a good piece of advice. But, it's like I said, man, it just looks different. Let me let bro talk.
no, I mean, that's not true. The worst she can do is laugh at you. But that hasn't happened to me, but I can imagine that happens, and it's absolutely harrowing. But at the end of the day, as a man, it's tough, and you will get over it. It's not the end of the world. But the times that it does work, then when you think, okay, that woman actually seemed to quite like me, and I'm going to go up and ask her out, it's actually really gratifying, and you feel like you've accomplished something. I said I hadn't done once, but now I'm thinking about it. I have actually done it a few more times than that. It was only once that I walked past this woman, and I was just like, wow, she's really attractive. And I was single at the time.
Had to
and walked
say
up to her. But other times where it's, like I had a date with a girl who sold internet. She was, one of the women on the street, people on the street who's trying to sell broadband, whatever, like 15, 20 years
and
ago.
free phones.
And I didn't want it, but I ended up getting it because she was really cute. And I asked her on a date, and she was like, yeah, okay, great. It didn't go anywhere, but it was no big deal. But I ended up with that broadband for a goddamn year.
Shit.
But the point is, when you do it and it goes quite well, then okay, great, But anyway, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's definitely an atmosphere that was created by the feminism of the 2010s. And this, I think, genuinely has had effects. I mean, Me Too, the hysteria about catcalling and misogyny and rape culture and all that sort of stuff. You can say thanks to Anita Sarkeesian, who herself had probably been catcalled 1 or 2 times. She's not hideous, but who had to marry herself, incidentally. And now these women are feeling the effects of it. That's definitely an issue. And there are lots of women all over the place. It's not just like the odd TikTok video. Like this one here. I'm wondering if guys still approach women they don't know but are attracted to, or this basically never happens anymore. I, as a woman, don't get approached while walking the street in the grocery store, etc. Men seem to like me at work and on dating apps, but the approach thing from strangers just doesn't happen. And what's really funny is they're going through this and being like, maybe we need to have some sort of social signal, like dropping a handkerchief to see if the guy's interested. And there was someone in this thread I was reading.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, bro. You can't, you know what I'm saying? getting dating advice off Reddit is just not what you should do, bro. So I'm not even.
Through it before I start the comments. They're like, yeah, but what if the guy doesn't pick it up? That'd be devastating. Absolutely devastating. I don't know. I can't find the thing, but okay, yeah, it would, but at least it wouldn't be like obvious. At least you could play it off as if.
But also, you guys, and obviously, bro, I'm not, like I said, man, I'm not the most game related dude, but you know, you don't have to catcall, bro. Like, you can still just approach a woman like in a non like street setting, like at a party if she looking at you, or like at the grocery store, or you know what I'm saying, you go to the coffee shop, or you know what I'm saying, you sign up for this little cooking class or yoga class, and right, like, you know, it's not it's not like you have to be like, hey yo ma, come over here or whatever, like on the street. And that's why I feel like you know, all these people saying, oh, it's because I'm gonna get reported, like they're just using that as an excuse. Like, trying to approach a woman doesn't even have to look like that, man. And sure, it is valid in some cases, but like I said, bro, I feel like that's cat, man. A lot of people are afraid to get rejected. A lot of people are afraid to lose, period. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they not gonna they're not gonna put themselves in the position where they can.
Oh, I just dropped that. I didn't mean to drop it. I wasn't trying to signal. But anyway, so yeah, you've got like other videos of women who are just trying to think of ways to get guys to approach them, because again, like, I think for a lot of women, it's not necessarily that they are, you know, actually they want loads of guys to be hitting on them. But
Just
what I
want
think
attention.
it is just for them to feel secure about themselves,
Right.
and also gives them something interesting to say about the night. Like, it gives them a social status over other women that these two are talking about incidentally. It gives them sort of like, it's a story, right? That they can tell their friends and say, oh, yeah, this guy approached me. Oh my God, he was this, he was that, whatever. But also it reassures them. Oh, right, no, I am still actually attractive. Because a couple of years ago, I remember doing a video about women when they get older and they start to feel invisible. And it's because,
Right.
like, when.
But also, here's another thing, right? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Sure, there might be a lot of chicks at the bar or the club or whatever it may be, but if you actually looking for a girlfriend instead of, you know what I'm saying, something to just, yeah, I'm not approaching a girl at the bar or the club in hopes that, like, I don't want my girlfriend to be the type of girl that's out every night anyway. So if I'm thinking like that, and like I said, I'm already in a relationship, but if I'm thinking like that, why would I approach a girl at the bar or at the club on something serious? Like I said, man, if you're not looking for something serious, then go ahead. But, like, you know what I'm saying?
When you're a young and attractive woman, you at least know that men notice you, and I think that for a lot of attractive young women, they feel important. They feel, oh, right, no, I have a place in society, and these guys are looking at me, they're checking me out. Even if they're not approaching me, I'm on their radar, right? They understand that I am a thing that matters in the grand scheme of male-female relationships. And so in society itself, I am sort of put on the map. But what these women are really complaining about is, I think, that they feel that they aren't on the map anymore. And this is the same thing that the older women were complaining about. When women get to like their 40s and 50s, and men are no longer just checking them out. You know, they no longer catch men just having a sideward glance, you know, admiringly. Which, again, the feminists have done a superb job of stigmatizing this. But actually, I think for a lot of women, and just a tangent on this, think about the kind of women who are feminists. Very rarely the attractive ones, right? Very rarely the ones who are getting catcalled.
Right.
So in a way,
Talking about, you know, I'm not gonna break down what a feminist looks like. Y'all know what he talking about.
feminism was kind of like a negative mating strategy, and they've ruined it for the decent-looking women. And you can thank your sisters on that one.
But again, bro, and I keep saying this. I don't think that is as big of a concern as we make it seem online, bro. I really don't. Just based off the people I know and you know what I'm saying, where I live and in my experience. But I could be wrong, bro. Maybe a lot of y'all are actually afraid that if you talk to a woman, you're gonna catch a case. Like, come on, bro.
They were fighting for your rights, not to feel flattered when you're walking around at night in your best clothes, looking as gorgeous as you can. Like, your sisters have done this for you. But I think they're entering the same status as women who grow older. And so, when women get to like their 50s and men are no longer, like, they're no longer a presence on the radar. They're no longer, maybe she's maybe she'd be interested or something like that. That no longer happens because men just aren't thinking, okay, I want a 50-year-old woman. I'm going to pick up a 50-year-old woman. So it's one of those things that the older invisible women who didn't get married and don't have kids and don't have families, this is one of the things that, by the way, ladies, you're going to want to get married and have kids so you don't turn into one of these invisible women. It will happen to you too, because this is the nature of what the manosphere uncharitably but fairly calls the wall. When you reach the menopause, you stop being a viable mate in evolutionary terms, and then that just means that men just don't generally tend to check you out. And younger women, it seems, are actually encountering this firsthand, and so they're strategizing, what can we actually do to not be invisible? Because, we're still potential mates. What can be done? I mean, this is a fascinating video. This is absolutely fascinating. Let's watch this.
The dating scene is getting so bad in New York City that I am seeing on TikTok there are girls going into Midtown during the week and stealing Finance Bros salads for lunch. And then looking their name up from the salad order on LinkedIn and then messaging them through there and being like, hey, oh my god, so sorry, I grabbed your salad, like, let me just make it up to you and buy you a new one. And that's
But that, you know what I'm saying? If it's real, like, on the lady's perspective, on the lady's side, man, if it's not just about, you know what I'm saying, you just want attention or validation or whatever it is, approach the dudes, man. Like I said, times have changed, man. It don't gotta be, madam, may I lay my coat on the pedal for you? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that no more. You can come up and talk to me too, right? Come on.
how they're like sliding it, which honestly, smart. Why are we stealing men's salads? Like, why can't they just come up to us at a bar? Like, why is it getting to this point? Men, just please step up. Or
Nah, it could go both ways. Like, y'all could approach too, man. Strong woman, right?
your salad's gonna fucking get taken. Your lunch is gonna get taken every
That's
week.
funny,
like,
though.
I'm seeing girls get so creative these days. Like, they're making bracelets with their phone numbers on them and giving them to you guys at the bars.
That's sick.
They are taking pictures of you sneakily and then being like, hey, oh my god, making it their phone screen and being like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friends so you can see that your picture
I'm
is
not
on
with
screen.
that, though. That's
All
weird.
just different ways to try to talk to you guys because you guys don't come up to us in New York City and it's crazy.
Okay,
I'm not with the pictures. I'm not with the picture stuff, but I'm saying, like, try some game out at least, right? Try, you know what I'm saying? Try to pull him, you know?
If I talked to a woman and she had my picture as her phone screen, I'm like,
what you doing?
what the hell's happening, man? Is this like some sort of weird, creepy Truman Show thing? But there we go. I mean, that is clever and creative. Oh, I took your salad by accident, you know, blah, blah, blah. But this is what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
women will signal that they're interested, but I guess if they're not getting approached at all, well, this is actually becoming a problem for them, isn't it? Again, there are loads of videos of very attractive women who are just like, why can't I get a man? And one can't help but feel that it might be a sort of confluence. I think technology definitely has a role to play in this, and the kind of unwinding of society
Right.
and the shared social customs and traditions that instructed men and women on how exactly to actually meet one another. I think that is genuinely a thing that's happened, although I obviously can't quantify it in any way. But I also do think it's the feminism. I do think that, like, a lot of men feel like they were essentially kind of beaten out of ever approaching women, and they're like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to come across as like some insane creep or anything. But Lisa Britton here makes a good point. There's a trend of women asking, well, what's wrong with men? Maybe they're asking the wrong question, and someone replies, well, they should hang out in the forest. I'm sure the bears would approach them. Well, touche, But this is something that a lot of men are worried about. They worry about coming off as creepy, and so it's.
Do y'all really, bro? Do y'all really, man? I feel like, again, bro, I feel like this is just some online stuff, man. I feel like dudes is just scared or coping by saying this, bro. For real, bro.
It's like, well, there's the whole problem with feminism is that, I mean, there are lots of problems with feminism, but one of the main issues with feminism and why most women are not feminists, right? I remember back in like 2014 or whatever, the feminists were like 80% of women agree with gender equality, and yet only like 10% of women call themselves feminists. Why? And it's because feminism contains within it a dark animus against men as men. They hate men, and they actually seek to destroy men. They seek to unseat them from their positions of power and authority because they're men, not because they've done anything wrong. They just are resentful and spiteful against men.
Yeah, this is like the I did a little research on like the true version of feminism, and like y'all, bro, we just reacting, man. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying, red pill. You must do things the way I say. Like we just, y'all know how we do, man. We check out topics, we give our 2 cents. But yeah, man. I mean, before I let them go, and then I'm probably gonna let them go till we finish. And this is why I say I feel like this is cope, bro. If the majority of women don't hate men, if that's just some online stuff, then you can't say, oh, I'm trying to be, or I don't want to come off as a creep. If you know that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the stuff you see online is just the vocal minority, and you know the loud negative stuff is gonna be amplified, bro. Like this is exactly why this right here is cap. You know what I mean? So let's let them finish it off.
And if these women were allowed to control the discourse for a decade, which they were, well, unsurprisingly, that does have consequences. That does have a knock-on effect that people go, oh, right, okay. If for some reason this is representative of women, and we all agree that the feminists represent women, well, then things change to, you know, you get a natural and reasonable reaction to what is being broadcast. And so men are like, right, okay, I'm not allowed to approach women anymore. I don't want to come off as some guy out of Mad Men or something, some dinosaur. And so a lot of men just won't. Even if they see an attractive girl and they think, oh, God, I wish I could. Apparently a lot of them don't. And now the women are beginning to notice this. And a lot of men just have never approached a woman in person. And 70% of men say the number one reasons they don't approach women is fear of rejection.
See, that's the truth, bro. It's not, I don't want to be a creep, man. Come on.
So this is another thing. Like, and this is something that when I was young, women actually, how to say it? There was less need for performative cruelty, right? Because when I was young, there was no social media. You weren't going to record this, put it up. You weren't going to share it online and get loads of upvotes. Likes or whatever. There was no, a girl would tell like 3 or 4 of her friends, her close circle of friends, and they'd titter and whatever when you walk by. But there was nothing really in being performatively sort of belligerent when rejecting someone. And so, honestly, and I know I'm going to sound like old man here, but when I was younger, I mean, there were plenty of girls that I thought liked me, that I asked out, and that didn't like me. And they were quite kind when they said, "Oh no, no, thank you." Right? You know, I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. And that's rough, but it's not devastating. And within the next day, you just get over it and you carry on with your life. It's just the way that things go. Sometimes you roll the dice with someone that you either know or work with or whatever,
right? And
sometimes you don't get what you want. But I think that now there's a kind of hard edge to it. And I genuinely think it comes from feminism. I genuinely think it comes from a culture of thinking that men are basically oppressive and kind of hateful, frankly. And it's a culture that genuinely stigmatized men. And I can definitely see that as a younger man now, I would definitely say it's scarier as a younger man now to approach a woman. I could see why. I think this is more of an American thing. I get the feeling that over in Britain it's probably still not that bad. Although I have to say, I'm just judging from the young men I know in this age bracket that I know, because of course I never approach women. I don't go anywhere or do anything, and with women at all. But I can see why younger men now would feel like it's more worrisome than it was when I was young. But maybe I'm overreacting.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's some truth, but I don't think on the grand scale is solely because of they just scared to get called or whatever, afraid Shorty gonna bust her phone out and put you on IG or whatever. But I mean, also, there's a whole bunch of things, man. A lot of people are staying inside. Period. We got microplastics in our balls from drinking water out. It's all messed up, bruh. Beautiful women wonder why men don't approach. Shout out to Cod Daily, man. We got some, some insight from the British unk, man. As always, it's your boy TwoCentz. Say it with me. TCZ. We out.